To the official MYT sequence, Meridian Yoga Therapy. This is about an hour practice. Could be a little longer depending on what variations you decide to take in some of the postures. And what we'll do is we'll move through Yoga Asana, we'll wake up and stretch the physical body, but we'll also be concentrating on the energy pathways inside the body. They run vertically from the eyes to the feet and back up to the eyes, and horizontally from the organs to the fingers and back from the fingers to the organs. You don't have to know anything about any of that to do the practice. We'll talk through it as we go, breathing, stretching, concentrating, and we'll take some acupressure points along the way, which I will show you. Let's begin with some focus, just focusing in the heart for a breath. Maybe even sensing the heartbeat in the center of the chest, deep inside the rib cage. And then press your palms together. We'll begin with one Om together. Inhale. Om. We dedicate this practice to all beings everywhere. May all beings receive the benefits of this practice through us. Go ahead and come standing. We'll start by warming up the body with the slapping technique, starting at the front of the body. Bend your knees, fold forward, pull your navel into your spine to protect your back, and start by slapping the tops of your feet. Make your way up the fronts of your shins. You want to hit pretty hard so that you get a little bit of a stinging sensation. Breaking up these energy pathways just beneath the surface of the skin. And then when you get to the hip crease, you can use a loose fist here. Just tap on the hip crease. And then contract your abdomen. Make it really hard. Pull up to the abdomen with your fists hitting all over the abdomen, building a pattern of digestion. In the front of the rib cage, making your way up top of the chest. When you get to the collarbones, you can push the collarbones forward and get back there with fingertips, tapping behind the collarbones. And then keep going up the front of the throat, front of the jaw, front of the corners of the mouth, sides of the face, all the way to just underneath your eyes. This is where the stomach pathway begins. And then continue back the way you came, making your way down. The stomach pathway is related to the emotion worry. It's related to digestion, both of food and also of information. And it could be related to repetitive thinking, repetitive thought patterns, also studying. You can pop your collarbones forward again, get back there with your fingertips, top of the chest. It's also related to the muscles, strength. The digestive tract, which we're working on here, is one big muscle. Front of the hip crease, and keep going down, fronts of the thighs, fronts of the calves, shins, tops of the feet. When you get down to your feet, pinch or press your second toe. That's where the pathway ends. Now, side body, gallbladder, starting at the sides of the ankles, take your way up, sides of the calves. Bend your knees, navel to spine as you come up, sides of the thighs, right T-band. You can use a fist here if you want to hit a little harder, it's up to you. And then keep making your way up, sides of the hips. Here, definitely use a fist. There's a tight little muscle in there between the bones, between the greater trochanter and the hip, pelvis. That's pretty tight. It's trying to loosen up some energy there. We hold a lot of emotion often in the hips as well. And then sides of the waist. Take a big breath. Spread your rib cage apart and get in there with your knuckles, like a washboard sensation. Moving energy between the ribs. Come all the way up to your armpits as you do it. And then tops of the shoulders. You can do this one side at a time using a fist. Just loosening up some energy there at the top of the shoulders. And then fingertips, side of the neck. Keep tapping up the side of the neck, continuing up around the back of the ear, the top of the ear. There's an acupressure point here. Gallbladder 8 releases jaw tension all the way to the corners of the eyes. This is where the pathway begins, the gallbladder pathway. And then start to make your way back down the way you came. The gallbladder pathway is related to the anger, to the emotion anger. Also to stress, intense emotions like anger, frustration, irritation, but also a drive. This is gallbladder 21, top of shoulder. We'll come back to this later. So a drive, motivation to grow, to change, to make plans, to get things done. Take a deep breath, knuckles, rib cage, move that energy. It's also related to the diaphragm, to the breath, sides of the waist. Keep making your way down the sides of the hips. Related to the flow of emotions, IT band. Keep going, sides of the calves, sides of the ankles, and then pinch or press your fourth toe. That's where the gallbladder pathway ends. One more to go, back body. Urinary bladder pathway, starting with the heels. You can bend your knees a lot here, and then make your way up the Achilles. Now focusing on the back side of the body, the calves. When you get to the backs of your knee crease, you can hit lightly there. And then keep making your way up, back of the hamstrings. Get to the gluteal muscles, all around the gluteal muscles. Just waking up the energy on the surface of the body. And then the corners of the tailbone, you can use your knuckles there. The sacrum, that flat bone right in the center, just below the spine. Connected, but just below the lumbar spine. And then separate your hands on either side of the spine. Make your way up, heading up toward the kidneys here at the bottom of the rib cage. See how high you can go. And when you can't go any higher, you can bring your arms all the way up to the top and throw your arm down from the top, stopping the top of the back. Just again, waking up energy on the surface of the body, fingertips working your way up the back of the neck, base of the skull. There's a point here called bladder 10. We'll come back to that. Heavy your fingertips now into the skull. Keep going up, top of the head. Close your eyes. Forehead. Notice lights flashing here. If you have your eyes closed. And then when you get to the inner corners of your eyes, you can press your index fingers there. That's where this pathway begins, the inner corners of the eyes, the tear ducts. And then make your way back the way you came. Forehead, top of head. Keep going. The bladder pathway is related to the emotion fear, like an extreme fear or shock. Make your way the back of your neck. And also, conversely, faith, trust. It's also related to the all of the bones in the body and the nervous system. Keep going down the back body. When you get to the bottom of the either side of the spine, corners of the tailbone, right on top of the sacrum, gluteal muscles. And then bend your knees, fold forward, hamstrings, keep going all the way down, lightly on the back of the knees, the calves, back of the heels, and then pinch or press your little toe, baby toe. That's where the pathway ends. Now, pull your way up, navel to spine as you come up. Come to standing, take a breath here. Notice the energy at the surface of the body. Maybe you feel a little bit of tingling sensation. That's good. Warming up, waking up the energy. Now we'll stretch those same 3 pathways, starting with the side body. So legs nice and strong. You can have your feet together, or if you prefer hip width, that's fine. Inhale, reach up. If it feels okay, interlace your fingers, release your index fingers, lift up, get even more narrow. Inhale. And then on your exhale, start to go to the right. How far you go is not important. What's important is feeling the length on the left side of the body. Breathe into that. Notice the edge of your left foot pressing down into the mat. Lift up away from that. Keep contracting your thighs, your butt, navel to spine. Breathing into the whole left side. Don't forget the breath. Keep breathing, lengthening the left side of the body. One more breath. Good, and then squeeze everything to come back up to the center. Reestablish your firm grip. Make sure your palms are really pressing together. Inhale, reach up. On your exhale, go to the left. Squeeze your butt. Draw your navel in. Come down a little or a lot, but just notice the length on the right side of the body this time. From the edge of your right foot all the way up the side of your leg. Hip, waist, ribcage, armpit, all the way to your fingertips. Send your breath to the right side of the body. Breathe into the whole right side. Squeeze to come back up to center. Now we'll lengthen the front side of the body, stomach pathway with a back bend. You have options here. You can keep your arms where they are, or you can reach your fingertips down, whatever feels better for you. Either way, feel your feet pressing down into the mat, contract your thighs. Inhale, press your feet down to lift your chest up, look up at the ceiling, and then start to go back, maybe just an inch. That's enough. Feel the length from the front of the body. If you want to go further, go ahead, but it's not necessary. Just concentrate on the length you're creating on the front side of the body and keep breathing into that. From the fronts of your ankles, up the fronts of your legs, the hip crease, torso, chest, throat, all over your eyes. Take one more breath to the whole front side. And then lift your chest to come up. Hinge forward at the hips, bend your knees as you come down. Try to come down with a flat back. When you get to the bottom, release your grip. Reach around the outside of your legs. You can separate your feet a little bit if that feels okay. Relax your neck. Try to keep your knees bent. Keep your torso connected to your thighs. Then get a sense with your relaxed neck of lifting your tailbone up, spreading your sit bones apart. So here, lengthening the backside of the body, ladder pathway. Keep lifting the tailbone up, spreading the sit bones apart. You can keep your knees bent the whole time. If you have a grip on something, maybe with your strong grip, to bring even more length into your spine. Maybe you can get a sense of moving the face closer to the shins. Breathe into the whole back body, from your heels, up your legs, back of the pelvis, the spine, back of the neck, all the way to the top of the head. One more breath there. Release. Come up as you went down. Bend your knees flat back. Step your feet hip width apart. Open your arms out to the side. Thumbs reaching back through your thumbs, palms up. Feet can be hip width apart. This is the long stretch. So now we're moving into the horizontal stretches. These are fascial stretches. You might feel some tingling or burning sensations, totally normal. Might feel a little nervy, but it will end as soon as you release the stretch. So should be no worries there unless you have a specific condition. Listen to your body, but try to stay with it. Try to focus on the pathway here. So this pathway begins, it runs either side, it runs on either side the same, starting at the top of the chest, down the inner arm, all the way to the tip of the thumb, the same on right side and left side. The lung is related to the throat chakra. It's related to sadness, grief, and letting go. One more breath here. Exhale all the way. Now release your left arm down, turn your right palm down, reach through your right index finger and turn your head to the left. Just looking over your shoulder, not turning your body, your torso, your waist, just from the neck. If you'd like to bring your chin down slightly toward the top of your shoulder, you can do that. This is the large intestine pathway. Reach through the right index finger. This pathway runs from that index finger up the back of your arm, front of the deltoid, right side of the neck, crossing over the upper lip to the left nostril. It's also related to the throat chakra, about letting go. Breathe into the very tops of your lungs, way up by the collarbones. One more breath. Exhale all the way. And then slowly release that side. Bring your left arm out. Point your left index finger, look over your right shoulder. Keep reaching through your left index, and then maybe chin down toward top of shoulder just a little. And that line of tension you're creating from left index to right nostril, focus there. Breathe into that pathway. If you notice anything along the way, any type of tension, just breathe into it. Try to release it with the exhale. Good, and then release that. Pericardium pressing out through the center of both palms, like you're pushing two walls away. Getting a sense here of joy, the pericardium, the connective tissue surrounding and protecting the heart. Energetically, it's related to joy, relationships, connection to others, love, romance. Breathe into the heart. Feel the heart expanding in every direction with your breath. Keep pressing out through the center of the palms. This pathway runs from the top of the chest down the inner arms, right through the center, the inner arm, through the center of the wrist crease, center of the palm where you're pressing now, to the tip of the middle finger. Now release, bring your arms down, roll your shoulders all the way up to your ears and reach down through your ring fingers. Drawing your shoulder blades down your back, lengthen your tailbone. Bring your chin to the center of your chest. Keep reaching through both ring fingers. And then draw your chin toward the left armpit, reaching more through the right ring finger. This is a very specific stretch. You'll feel it most likely in the upper trapezius. Keep reaching through right ring finger. This pathway runs from the ring finger up the back of the arm, top of shoulder, the upper trapezius muscle, up the side of the neck, around the back of the ear to the outer eyebrow. Triple heat is related to a defense energy and the immune system. Exhale all the way. See if you can let go of some defenses just for this breath, for this class. And then bring your chin back to the center. Keep reaching through both ring fingers. Chin toward right armpit. Reach even more through the left ring finger. Again, finding that pathway, concentrating with your mind from left ring finger up the back of the arm, top of shoulder, side of neck to the outer eyebrow. Breathing into any spot along the way that feels tight. Slowly release. One more. Reach out. Palms forward, reaching through the pinky fingers, deepening the armpits. This is the heart. We'll do heart and small intestine at the same time. Heart chakra. Very first point on that pathway is deep inside the armpit. Turn your left thumb down. Keep reaching out with the left arm. Bend the left elbow. Bring that arm up your back. Bring your right arm high, right elbow forward. And then you can bend and connect. Maybe you can take a bind behind your back. Or if you have a strap, drop it down from the top. Grab it with your bottom hand. Or just use your imagination. Imagine that your fingertips are touching. That's the most important thing, just breathing and concentrating in the heart. Don't worry about what it looks like. Focus in the heart. Here on the right side, the heart pathway stretching the armpit. Begins in the armpit, runs down the innermost part of the arms, same on both sides to the tip of the pinky finger. And on the left side, small intestine pathway, you can think of it as the heart of the gut. Begins in the pinky finger, runs up the outer edge of the pinky finger, outer edge of the hand, up the arm, all around the back of the shoulder blade. And continues up around the side of the neck and into the ear hole. Slowly release. Bring your arms back up to the side. We've got one more side to do. Now turn your right thumb down, internal rotation, right side, reach out, bend the elbow, slowly bring that arm up your back. Left arm high, left elbow forward, bend and connect. Notice the difference on this side. Some people find this side to be harder. Small intestine on the right with the internal rotation, back of the shoulder blade. Heart pathway on the left. The heart organ is a little bit more on the left side, as you know. Just focus there in the heart. Imagine that you can sense your actual heartbeat. Breathe into the heart. Slowly release. Take your time. Come to the top of your mat. We'll keep going with our warm-up. Surya Namaskar. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. You can bend your knees a lot as you come down. Relax your neck. Inhale, look forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step into plank. And from here, you can lower knees, chest, and chin. That's your exhale. And then inhale, cobra. Squeeze your butt. Lift your heart. Now tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can move through your tabletop to get there if you like. Stay here for a few breaths. Have a sense of the whole spine long. Spread your fingers and your toes very wide. Bend your knees. Push the mat away. Relax your neck. Draw your armpits toward your ears. Keep pressing down through index and thumb knuckles. And then just lift the tailbone, spread the sit bones apart. Sometimes that action is easier done with bent knees. So don't be afraid to bend your knees. Creating a long spine, no rounding in the spine. Now inhale, reach your right leg up, just for a few breaths here, getting a sense of the strength of the body on the right side. Imagine the large intestine, the ascending large intestine on the right supporting your hip. Liver, gallbladder on the right side, and then the right lung, the right side of the heart supporting your right shoulder here. Slowly lower the right leg down. Exhale all the way. And then inhale, left leg up. Again, just for a few breaths. Notice the strength of the left side of the body in this three-legged dog. Notice the descending large intestine supporting the leg here, lifting up, stomach, spleen, pancreas on the left side. Left lung, heart, even more on the left side, all supporting the shoulder here. Release, come back to downward facing dog. Exhale all the way. Now walk yourself to the center of your mat. Stay in your forward fold. If you need to come up for a moment to let the blood run back down, if that's a thing for you, then do so. You can come up, it's fine. Otherwise, reach around the outside of your legs and find your points, bladder 62 and kidney 6, which I will show you now. Bladder 62 is located just below the outer ankle bone, right below it. That's your point. Just press into there with one finger. So ankle bone is here. That's your point right there. And then kidney 6, that's the inner ankle bone just below that. You can press into both at the same time. If you can access that with your hands reaching around the back, or just do one at a time. If you really want to target just the back body today, you can focus on bladder 62 on the outside. If you want to target the pelvic floor, a sense of grounding, or anything related to female issues like the uterus, you can make sure to do kidney 6 on the inside of the ankle. Either way, stay in your forward fold. And just focus on what you're feeling here. Try to relax into it and breathe. Imagine and sense the whole body relaxing, back body. Any tension in the neck or the back of the hamstring starting to release here with your breath, with this acupressure. Good. Release that. Roll your way up. Take your time. Just allowing the blood to rush back down. I'm going to show you 2 more points and then we'll come back into our forward fold. One of them is bladder 10, the base of the skull right here. It's very close to the cervical spine. It's not out here. It's right in here. So if you're out here at first, move your thumbs closer to the center. That's your point. And then you can wrap the other fingers around your head. We'll take that in the forward fold. And after that, we'll do kidney 9 on the inside of the calf. So find the bottom of the teardrop shape, that is the calf muscle, and press right into that on the very inner part of the calf. Okay. So coming into your forward fold, bend your knees, draw your navel in, come down all the way. Now find bladder 10, base of skull, close to the cervical spine. Press into that with your thumbs. You can keep your knees bent here. Wrap the rest of your fingers around your skull and just relax. Keep pressing into that point. Keep breathing. This point, bladder 10, helps to open the whole back of the body. It really works on the hamstrings, back of the neck, even tension in the back. If you have any of that, just focus here and breathe. Continue to press into that point. Good, and then staying in your forward fold, kidney 9. That's the one on the inner calf. So just below the teardrop shape at the bottom of the calf muscle, you can take that point. Press a couple of fingers into that. Just for a few breaths. Good for the pelvic floor. So if you have pelvic floor tension, which sometimes can show up in issues with the feet, an imbalance in the feet, a difference in the feet, or even pain and tension. It's also good for general calming and anxiety. And release. Slowly roll your way up. Make your way up to standing. Take kidney 1, sole of the foot. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. If you have pretty good balance and you want to take kidney 1 standing, you're going to take it like this. You can extend that leg. You can open out to the side the whole time pressing into that point. I'll get more specific in a minute. Or you can work on the balance separately and take kidney 1 in a seated position. So first, let me show you the point. Come to seated unless you already know you can do the standing. Kidney 1 is here right below the ball of the foot, right in the center. And you can take a few fingers and press into that. And then just close your eyes. Try to focus on what you feel. This pathway, the kidney, it's paired with the bladder. So it's about the back body. It's about the nervous system. It's also related to blood. You can sense this pathway, which runs from this point in the sole of the foot up the inner ankle, the inner calf, up the inner thigh, into the pelvic floor, switch sides. And then from the pelvic floor, continues up. Now almost right through the center, but just on either side of the navel. And then continues up to just below the collarbones. That's the pathway, kidney. One more breath. Release. Now, if you're working on your balance separately, this is an exercise that you can spend a little bit more time on before or after class. Bring your weight into your left foot. So that's going to be your standing foot. And then keep your right toes on the mat. Gaze at something that is not moving. So not the computer screen, but maybe a speck on the wall or a nail or something like that. And then you can have your arms hanging, or you can bring your hands to your hips, whatever feels more comfortable. And then just keep pressing the big toe down of the standing foot. Notice the foot working to help you balance. And then if you want to start to lift the other leg up, you can do that. So I'm lifting my right leg up, standing on the left. And then just notice what's happening in the foot. Keep pressing the big toe down. Notice all of the toes working to grip the mat. the arch of the foot, all the bones moving and shifting to accommodate the balance, the ankle, the Achilles, even the calf muscle. You might contract your thigh gently, feel the glute, the hamstring working. And then draw your lower abdominals in, wrap your ribs toward each other, and feel how that lifts up the whole upper part of the body, like you're getting even closer to the ceiling. And then slowly release that side, moving into the other side, standing on your right leg, spread your toes apart, press your big toe down, find your spot to gaze on straight ahead of you, and then start to lift up your left leg. Maybe you keep your toe down. Either way, you're working on the balance because the weight is mostly in your right foot. You're pressing your big toe down. You're feeling the bones and the weight in the foot shifting to accommodate the balance, the arch of your foot, all of the toes hopefully grabbing the mat. Notice the ankle, notice the Achilles. And then as you make your way up, your focus, your thigh, gentle contraction there. Notice the hamstring and the glute. Lower abdominals, draw those in, wrap your ribs toward each other, and lift up through the crown of your head. Good. Release. Come to the top of your mat. We'll keep going with the warm-up, moving into the front of the body now. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. Come all the way down. Inhale, look forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward. Now, inhale, right leg forward, low lunge, left knee down. Reaching back through your big toe, second toe of your left foot, squeeze your left butt. Try to keep everything square to the front. So both hips pointing forward, both shoulders pointing forward. You can have your hands on your low back or the back of your pelvis. Now lift the energy up from below the navel all the way to the top of the chest. Feel the energy lifting inside the body. Lift your chin, look up. Get a sense that the organs are lifting with that energy. Keep squeezing left butt. Now here you are, lengthening the left side of the body from your left eye, down the left side of your face, throat, chest, abdomen, front of left hip, all the way down your left leg, your big toe and second toe. Crescent moon shape. Take one more breath into that. And then release, lift your chest to come up, plant your hands down, step back to downward facing dog. Moving to the other side, inhale, left leg forward, right knee down. Reach back through big toe, second toe, both hip points square to the front, both shoulders to the front. Squeeze your right butt this time. Then find that energy inside the body, right at the center, from below the navel, up to the top of the chest. Lift that energy up, feel it. Draw your lower abdomen in, navel in toward front of spine. Lift your chin, lift the organs. Stay here, keep breathing, keep squeezing your right butt. Lengthening the whole front right side from your right eye, down the right side of your face, throat, abdomen, front of right hip, all the way down the right leg to your big toe and second toe. Lift your chest to come up, plant your hands, step back. Take a breath here. Downward facing dog. Just sit down on your mat. We'll take abdominal massage. The way to do this is in a child pose, if that feels comfortable for you, with your knees together. Take your fist in your abdomen, just on either side of your navel, and then you're going to fold forward and leave your fists there. And when you get down, rotate them in a circle to give yourself a massage in your abdomen. So again, knees together, inhale. Try to lengthen the spine first, and then gently round forward. Pull your navel in as you come down. And then your fists kind of get lost in there. And you can rotate your fists in a circular motion, just getting a sense of what's happening there in the abdomen, just feeling what you feel, continuing to breathe into the pressure of your hands. Noticing any physical sensations there, also noticing anything emotional or mental that comes up. The stomach, remember, is the pathway related to worry, overthinking, repetitive thoughts. So sometimes, we're chewing on things, not in a physical sense, but chewing on ideas. And that can be here in the abdomen. Just try to let anything that comes up go. Release it. Don't hold on to it. Keep breathing. 2 more breaths here. Slowly release, come up. Now we'll take another acupressure point. This one is right behind the collarbones. So if you push your collarbones forward or push your shoulders forward to pop your collarbones out, you can take your fingertips and put them back behind the collarbones. You can use pretty much all of them, not the thumbs, but the rest of the fingers. And then come back up to sit upright and press straight down with your fingertips. And try to relax your shoulders here. Just continue to breathe as you press down behind the collarbones. And if you like, you can take the chin movement, bring your chin down to the center of your chest, and then bring it back up. Do that a few times, continuing to breathe here in this position. This point, stomach 12 is very good for any neck issues. It's also good for the lymph. It's good for releasing tension in the back of the neck as well. So if you have neck pain there, tension, tightness, this really helps. It also is good for depression. Now we're going to do camel, and we're going to focus on the stomach problem. You might want to roll your mat up a couple times to have some cushion under your knees. Bring your knees hip width apart, so they'll look about like this. And then hands to your lower back or back of your pelvis. Same thing, lift that energy up from down here, below the navel, up to the top of your chest. Lift, lift, lift. And then look up. Stay here. Squeeze your butt or go back as much as you like. If you have this pose in your practice, you want to reach for your heels, that's fine, but you don't have to. Don't worry about that. Just lengthening the front side of the body from your knees all the way up to the top of your chest, to your eyes. Keep breathing. Release, lift your chest, allow your head to be the last thing that comes up. Go ahead and sit down, and then come to seated on your seat. We'll move into the side body gallbladder. Extend your right leg, bend your left leg. Start with a twist. Take your right hand to your left knee and twist to the left. Just look over your left shoulder. Feel both sit bones pressing down onto the mat. So if somehow one of them is lifted, if you're leaning over or something like that, try to press them both down and lift up through the crown of your head. Look over your left shoulder. Take one more breath here. And then lift your left arm up. Release your knee with your right hand. Bring your right hand down on your left or on your right thigh, or you can place it down on the mat in front of your leg. Lengthening the left side of the body here from the hip all the way up through the fingertips. Now, remember, it's not how far down you come. It's just a matter of sensing the length on the left side of the body. So even if you're almost straight, as long as you're pressing down through your left sit bone and reaching up through your left fingertips, that's perfect. Along that pathway, notice where you might have some tension, some resistance. Focus there. Keep breathing. The side body, the gallbladder pathway, is related to intense emotions like stress and anger. when those things come up for us, a lot of times what happens is they're not released in a physical way. Like in, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, when we had a stress response, we were probably in the wilderness running from a wild animal. So the cortisol happened so that we could react quickly, but then it was released with the physical exertion. Nowadays, with the type of lives that we live, the stress comes and the physical exertion doesn't happen. So the cortisol remains in the body. Let's release it. Using the breath, slowly make your way out of that. We'll come right into pigeon on the right side. So turn toward your bent knee. Send your left leg straight back behind you. Square your hips toward your left knee, so straight toward the front of your mat. And then you can start to lower yourself down. If you would like to put a pillow there under your head or a block, you can certainly do that. Or you can rest your head on your hands just for a short time and stay here in pigeon. Get a sense of immediately relaxing the physical body. So this is a pose where there's nothing to hold at all. You don't have to contract anything. You don't have to hold anything up. You're just laying down and relaxing. Not always as easy as it sounds. But you can start sensing places in the body where you typically hold stress, so maybe in your eyes, especially on the right side of the jaw. Try to relax that. Right side of the neck, top of the right shoulder, relax. And the right rib cage, relaxing on your exhale, making your exhale extra long. Allowing even the diaphragm to relax just for a moment with your exhale. And then the hip. I say the right side, I really like the left side because that's the side that we're working on. So either way, both sides of the body, but now in the left hip, focus there. And try to pinpoint exactly what you're feeling. Where is it? Where is the tension, the pain? This tightness, whatever it is that you're feeling or whatever you're calling it. Is it in the IT band? Is it in the glute? Is it in the hip? Maybe that tight little TFL muscle or the piriformis. Try to pinpoint exactly where it is, even if you don't know the name of it. And then send an inhale to that place. As you breathe into that, see and feel space being created all around that area. Everything's softening. And then with your exhale, let it go. Release what you're holding. Just let it go. It takes time to stretch the body. So coming into this and then having a sensation and coming right out of it isn't going to do it. Gotta try to stay a little bit longer. It takes time. It takes, some practice to build up into that. And of course, always listen to your body. If you have an acute pain, that's different. But if it's just a little pain and tension, tightness, that type of thing, and it's not an acute issue, just stay and breathe. One more breath. Exhale. Release. Come up. Take your time coming out. Move nice and slow. And move to the other side. Bend your right knee. Extend your left leg. Starting with a twist to the right. Both sit bones pressing down. So that's important to start with. Make sure that you really feel that. Both sit bones. Then lift up through the crown of your head. Then look over your right shoulder. Take your left hand to your right knee. Other hand can be back by your sacrum, supporting the spine or anywhere on the floor. Just twisting to the right. Inhale, feel the spine lengthen. Exhale. Now bring your right arm up. Reach up toward the ceiling and then release that knee. Take your left arm down to your left thigh or on the inside of your leg, either one, whatever's comfortable. And keep reaching up with your right fingertips. Stretching and lengthening the right side now from the right hip up the side of your hip, side of the waist, rib cage, armpit, all the way up through your fingertips. Keep breathing into that. Focusing on the side body, this time on the right side. Noticing what you feel, not just in the physical body, but any emotions that come up. Oftentimes, when you work in the side body, emotions will come up. Sometimes it's anger or irritation. That's okay. I will hold all the space in the world for you to feel whatever you're feeling. Just let it be, but don't attach to it. Just notice it with love, with compassion, and then let it go. Let it continue on. Keep breathing. Keep focusing on the side body. If you find a spot that feels exceptionally tight, bring your attention there. Inhale. And then exhale. Try to release what's being held there. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Take your time. Start to come up. Send your left leg back. Right knee is bent. Face both of your hip points toward your bent knee. Shoulders forward as well. And then you can lower yourself down into pigeon. If your hip is pretty tight, you can bring that heel all the way in toward the left hip point. That will help a little bit. And if you feel more flexible today, you can send your right foot out away from you a little bit or have your shin parallel to the front edge of the mat. In any case, wherever you are, calm down and relax. Especially the right side of the body. Notice any tension in the face or the jaw. Let that go. Really let it go. Upper right shoulder, upper trapezius. That's a place most people hold a lot of tension. Try to relax that. And the right rib cage. You can help the rib cage to relax more on the exhale, especially if you make it extra long. Lengthening the exhale. Exhaling even more than you think you need to. The diaphragm will also be able to relax. And then the hip, the right hip. Coming back to your focus there. The side might feel totally different. Just notice what you feel. Bring your awareness to the place where you feel the most. Inhale, bring space, softening that whole area. And as you exhale, let it go. Just let it go. It doesn't need a label. There doesn't have to be a reason for it. Just release it. You don't need that anymore. Let it go. One more breath like that. Your time. Do a few acupressure points. Gallbladder 21, top of the shoulder. So you can, with a few fingers, you can press straight down into that muscle there. Wherever it feels the tightest, maybe the most painful, that's probably your point. So just pressing straight down into that. You can spend more time here after class. The thing with the acupressure is you want to create the pressure point, and then you want to focus all of your attention and breathe into it. That's how you can start to move the stagnation or the tension or the pain. Do the other side. And now we'll move to the liver pathway, which is paired with the gallbladder. they work together. We're going to do liver 3. So find that point on the top of your foot, starting from between the big toe and the second toe. You can trace with your finger up the top of the foot. It's not in the webbing, so it's not way down here. You got to keep going up to the place where you feel like those bones are going to meet, and then press into that. This point is good for many things, including all over body pain. So when you're having some tension somewhere, maybe even a headache or, maybe some wrist pain or shoulder pain, you can press into this point and breathe, concentrate. And switch sides. It's good to spend more time here. We don't have too much time to do it in class for all these different points, but once you get used to some of these points, you can spend a little bit more time pressing, breathing, concentrating. Good, release that. We'll do one more point for the liver. This point is located between the 6th and 7th ribs here, the intercostal space, 6th intercostal space, I should say. And it's right here. So same thing on both sides. If you're familiar with where a bra strap would be, it's usually just below the bra strap. And then we're going to lay down with your feet in Baddha Konasana, with your soles of your feet together. Come to lay down, Supta Baddha Konasana. And then just let your knees relax. If that isn't comfortable for you and you want to extend your legs, that's fine. Or you can place blocks under your knees to support your knees, and then take your index fingers or your thumbs and press into that point in the 6th intercostal space, just on the underside of the bra strap area. And just breathe. Have a sense of this pose allowing you to relax and exhale. This pose assists the diaphragm in exhaling all the way. So continue to breathe, even as you're pressing into the front of your ribcage. And as you exhale, exhale completely. All of the air, even more. And then release. Bring your knees together, roll to one side. Make your way back up to seated. And then we'll move into a seated spinal twist. So extend your left leg out straight, bring your right leg up and over. If you want to bend that left knee and have both knees bent, that's fine. But for most people, left leg extended straight is going to be great. And then you can give that right knee a hug, take your with your left hand, you take your right hand back by your sacrum. So you're supporting the spine with your right arm. And again, feel both sit bones pressing down, lifting up through the crown of the head. Look over your right shoulder. Twisting to the right. Feel the length of the spine. Feel that especially on the inhale. Exhale, twist. And slowly release. Other side, extend your right leg. Bring your left leg up and over. Give your left knee a hug with your right arm. Bring your left hand back by your sacrum. Left arm supporting your spine. Both sit bones pressing down. Sit bones down, crown of head up. Look over your left shoulder. Imagine the spine lengthening like a corkscrew moving up from the earth to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, twist. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Slowly release. Next, we'll do the heart 1 point, and then we'll move into the horizontal pathways. Part one is located deep inside the armpit, in the deepest part of the armpit. So first of all, deep in the armpit, you can do that by pressing your palm into your thigh, fingertips pointing inward, and then take 4 fingers with your index finger pointing to the wall behind you, or you can use your thumb, wrap the rest of your fingers around the back of your shoulder blade. Either way, whatever feels better. Press straight up, relax that arm down. So I'm on the right side right now. Right armpit. Just let that arm hang. And then press a little back toward the wall behind you so you're pressing at a slight diagonal. If you like, you can take your hand to your opposite knee, continuing to press at that diagonal, and then you can lift your arm at a diagonal here, inhaling, lifting, and exhaling, lowering your arm. And just keep pressing into that place in the armpit. This point is good for any shoulder issues at all. Rotator cuff, anything in the shoulder. Also for upper back and jaw pain. And also for heartbreak, loneliness, depression. Really connects you back to the true self, the heart. Release. Take a moment. Notice how you feel. Notice the difference between right and left sides. And then the other side. Deepen your left armpit this time. 4 fingers or your thumb, press straight up. Relax that arm down. Keep pressing up and back toward the wall behind you at a diagonal. Left hand to your right knee. Stay there. Or if you want to take the movement, you can lift your left arm up on your inhale. Lower it on your exhale. Do that a few times as you continue to concentrate in the armpit. This pathway begins in the heart. It emerges in the deepest part of the armpit where you're pressing. It runs down the innermost part of both arms, same on both sides, to the inner wrist crease, all the way to the tip of the pinky finger. Release. Take 1 breath. All right, now come to lay down on your abdomen. We'll move into some more points for the horizontal pathways. This next one is bow, targeting the pericardium. Oh no, I'm sorry. I take that back. This next one is locust, also still for the heart. You have a couple of options here. You can do regular locust, interlace your fingers behind you like this, lift your legs. We'll come back to that in just a second. Or if you want a greater challenge, reach your arms out like this. Bring your elbows very close together, hands in a prayer. And then you can bring your forehead down, open your hands like a book, so palms facing the ceiling, and then inhale, lift up. That one is a lot harder, so try both and see what you'd like to do. But in any case, feel the heart opening. If you're reaching back with your interlaced fingers, you can really feel a stretch in the top of the chest. Heart opening, so much space there. Keep squeezing your heels together, squeezing your butt, keep breathing. If you're reaching forward, reach through your pinky fingers. You're also targeting the small intestine pathway, back of the shoulder blades. 1 more breath here. Release. Just rest. Bring your forehead down, or you can bring 1 ear to the mat. Now we'll take bow. This first bow is to target the pericardium pathway. So bend your knees, grab your feet from the inside with your thumbs facing up. And then inhale, kick, come up. You can keep your thighs down. You don't have to come up very far, but just feel a stretch in the top of your chest. Keep breathing. Pericardium pathway runs from the top of the chest, pec major, down right through the center of the inner arm, center of the biceps, center of the elbow crease, the forearm, the wrist crease, to the center of the palm where you're pressing right into your inner ankle bone right now, all the way to the tip of your middle finger. 1 more breath here. And release. Rest. Next bow. We'll move into the lung. So targeting the lung pathway with this next one. For this though, take the regular grip. We'll do 3 lion's breaths. If you're not sure what that is, it looks like this. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. As you exhale, try to see the tip of your nose. Stick your tongue out as far as possible. As you do that, you're stretching the muscles in your throat that connect to the tongue, targeting the throat chakra related to the lung and targeting the lung pathway. We'll do, and by the way, when you do that, exhale, that breath, lion's breath, release mentally anything you don't need. So if you have physical pain, you have emotional pain, worry, doubt, anger, fear, frustration, stress, let it go with your breath. Okay, let's do it. Bend your knees, grab your feet. We're going to do 3. Come right up and we'll get right into it. Inhale, kick. Through the nose, inhale, exhale, lion's breath. Exhale all the way. Inhale through your nose. Exhale. Letting it all go. Anything and everything you don't need, let it go. One more. Inhale through your nose. Exhale. Keep exhaling all the way. Keep kicking. Keep breathing. Release. Rest. Make your way up to seated. We'll take one final acupressure point. Lung 2. This is one of my favorites. It's located inside the shoulder, below the collarbone. So if you kind of push your shoulder forward like this, and collarbones too, you see that little ditch right there? That's your point. Same on both sides. I like to take 2 fingers into that point. And then just relax. With the resting arm, you can kind of reach through the thumb gently there. And just try to focus on the exhale. You might even feel like you want to exhale more as you're pressing into this point. This point is really about releasing, letting go, surrender. Sometimes it's obvious what we need to let go of, or if there's sadness or something like that. This point really helps with that. But other times it's not so clear. You know what? You don't have to label it. Just have a general sense of surrender as you breathe here. Exhaling all the way. And then switch sides. Again, find that ditch there inside the shoulder, below the collarbone. Couple of fingers there. Reach through the resting thumb a little bit. And just press into that point. Notice how you feel. Try to make the exhales extra long. I surrender. Something you can say to yourself as you exhale. Okay, release. Let's do one more camel. Come up. Move onto your knees. Again, you can roll your mat a couple times if you want. Knees are hip width apart. Hands on your low back. And for this one, you can either keep your hands here like we did last time, or if you want to reach down through your thumbs, you can really target the lung in that point that we were just working on. So you might try that for this one and see what that feels like. Inhale, lift that energy up from below the navel to the top of the chest. Lift it up, but reach down through your thumbs. Stay here. Stay right here. This is your pose. If you want to go back further, grab your heels and reach through your thumbs. This way you could also do that. Either way is fine. You're targeting the lung path. Notice the space where lung 2 is, the point that you were just pressing. Keep breathing into that. Exhaling all the way, letting go of anything you don't need. Release, come up. Come to lay down on your back. We're almost done. Just one more to go. One more point. Lay flat on your back. Bend your knees, bring your knees into your chest. You can wrap your arms around your shins if you like. Maybe connect your wrists or your hands or your elbows even. And then open your arms out in a T shape with your palms down. Send your knees to the left and look to the right. Here, one final pathway that you can focus on, the large intestine from your left index finger to your right nostril. Same pathway that we stretched during the arm stretches. Breathe into that. Bring your knees back to the center. Go to the other side, knees to the right. Look to the left. Find your right index this time. Press that down a little bit into the mat. And find the whole pathway from your right index to your left nostril, large intestine pathway. Breathing into the tops of your lungs. Exhaling all the way. Letting go of anything else that you don't need. Last pose of class. 12 seconds to last. Savasana is actually our last pose. Release that. Bring your knees back to your chest. Extend your legs long. You can have your palms up. Allow your feet to fall out to the side. Just relax here in your final Shavasana. Allow your breath to be just natural, regular, however you want to breathe. Feel the whole body heavy. Sinking down into your mat. Notice the right side heavy. Notice the left side. Notice the space in between where the right and left sides meet. Relax. Your face relax. All of the organs in the torso relax. Intestines, kidneys, the liver on the right, the stomach on the left, relax. The lungs and the heart. See the whole body filled with light, illuminated with healing energy. Prana. Every cell perfect. We remember and honor the purpose of yoga. Liberation from the material realm. From the body, from the mind, union with the consciousness. That is self-realization. It's not the ego self, it's the essential self. The same in all beings, the one that's always watching, the seer, the witness. May all beings be free from suffering and at peace, including us, and may we be of service to all. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.